we are fucking set though.
Yes, as
Into
yeah, I think we're again, you know, we're discovering where we're finding more different types of items, and as I say, the more it will get to that point where we know where when we need to find a particular item, we know the places to go to find it, and that'll be overpowered in itself because it's like, right, okay, rather than going, oh, we need to have a look
I was
around.
telling her, other
Yeah,
than a couple spots, we know
yeah,
Wish gets in here, he ain't gonna have to find.
yeah. It's gonna be like, do you want LMGs? Right, you want to go to the Arctic, so here's a jerry can.
LMGs are the huge. Sometimes get them over in our areas.
Yeah,
That's the thing. We got so fucking those
yeah.
these islands, fucking like the best loot spots. We get all the shit.
Yeah, and as I say, whether it be complete, you know, like, look, I'm walking through a fucking that little military checkpoint near the kit base, and suddenly there's two Jurassic Isle um, MBGs, red straps that someone had dropped just in the middle of a military thing there, which we could just pick up. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that, or whether it's, as you say, going to the islands and finding MVGs, going to the islands finding tappers, etc. As I say, it's nice, isn't it, finding the cool loot without obviously having to, you know, without that risk of getting into PvP, so that when you go into PvP, you're actually going there for PvP and not necessarily to loot for specific things you're desperate for. I think we've been really done a good job of that. That we know we got what items we needed, and then we've been able to find the items we wanted, and then, you know, all we're really doing now is we want 10 of something rather than 2. You know what I mean? That type of stuff, isn't it? That's really the only kind of facts. Let me get one more of these. That's what I feel awful. But yeah, I think once we've got like the fortifications down in base, and we have a look at those rules just to kind of see what we can put in to make it awkward for people without making it against the rule, shall we say? Then, and obviously not too annoying for us, whilst obviously, you know, it's not purge, etc. Because obviously it'll be stopping us getting through it, just like it'll be stopping them getting in potentially. Then we can maybe start to think about making like a helicopter pad or something on the lines of that. And obviously, once we've got a place to actually land it, I suppose, or a safe spot we can land it, then we can potentially go and hunt for one before end of the wipe, and we can put some time in on that helicopter server. So I think maybe we both are okay at flying them, or at least passable at flying them, I
Yeah,
suppose.
bro, you gotta catch up. Cause if we were playing GTA, my flight would be at 99. We'll give you a 46, just cause you have never done one before.
Yeah, right, okay. Because yeah, I remember watching some of you know, the squad. What do you want to call them?
Oh, okay, nice.
Thank you very much.
Like this one.
But yeah, some of oh, sorry, I'm just going to switch them over a second just to fill up the other one with the engine oil whilst I've got them here basically. Restore it. I just need to put the engine oil away and then I'm ready to go. Right, so that one there. But yeah, so watching some of the videos on squad of people with helicopters, and I mean literally, like, if they're not doing like these incredible like fishhook landings where they basically just do a complete like 180, you know, and like come to a complete stop where they need to drop the people off and get out of there, or they're doing like literally doing like corkscrews like you see in a fucking what do you want to call it? Corkscrews like you'd see in a fucking roller coaster. I was watching a match where one team was fucking over the other so much that the helicopter players on the team that was winning were just basically doing like barrel rolls and all sorts of silly shit over the tops of the enemy like fobs and such like that. And it was just like the most ridiculous kind of like they were even doing like what's the word for it? They were both firing flares at like the same time for like, you know, for like fireworks almost purposes to make it look cooler while they were barrel rolling. It's so fucking cool. Ultimate flex, I must say. Especially when they're doing it in fucking Heinz and fucking Blackhawks. I don't even think it's possible to do in a Blackhawk, admittedly, because of obviously how big and armoured they are, but clearly it must be. On game it is anyway.
Check this out.
Oh, just repair my shoes. I can't turn now, but 1 second. Let's have a look. Oh no! Oh God, no!
Get me.
Oh God. You want to so bad, don't you?
That's the one I was gonna get homeboy with at the trader.
Oh God. You know what they really need to do? You know the face paint? There needs to be one where you just have like lots of white powder underneath your nose or over your nose. You know, like something out like some sort of like Scarface parody or something like that.
Donald Trump has
Does it?
the whites.
Oh God, yeah. And then the fake tan, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Oh man.
Came out.
What's that? When else came out with what? Sorry.
Yeah, the Trump man.
Oh God, no! That creased me. I was there when he bought it, and he went, Arch, turn around and look at this, because he was buying different ones, and he was like more impressed by each one. You know, the next one he found, he's like, oh, I like this one even more. And then he found the Trump one. And I was fucking howling at that. That was funny.
Trump won just because of it.
Yeah. Oh. Like, you know, like you think about in the vanilla game, you've got those fucking, what they call, those payday masks, and like, you know, yeah, they're cool because, well, they're the only kind of cool masks in the game, in a vanilla game, etc. But on PC like that, there's literally hundreds. Like, I can have a fucking Predator mask on, I can have an Alien mask on if I wanted, I can have a Jason mask, or one of the other, like, you know, like Freddy Krueger mask, a Stormtrooper, a Trump mask, as you say. It's never ending. Literally, I could be whoever I wanted.
Ready?
I am ready, yes.
Try right now.
Say that again, sorry. Said what?
Oh.
Nice.
Ah.
Nice.
You know what Dayz should do? They should just throw jet skis on console.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact they've added boats, and boats that work in a reasonably well manner, I suppose, other than like the loud noise, you know, the loud sound, and the fact you don't see the actual fuel gauge. Once they've got the boats working, so, you know, so they're required, like, you know, having a fuel gauge so you can actually see and all that. Yeah, they really just should add jet skis. There's so many
These things are
things
so
like
sick.
that. Oh God, yeah. I mean, they are. I will never
Ooh,
tire.
this jet ski's in the red on fuel. We go to a fuel station quick.
Really? I've just filled them up. Should be. Is it not the other? Is it on the far
Full,
side
full.
of it?
It's full.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say. Then wait a minute. Like,
I didn't even think you would be on this early.
well, yeah. I wouldn't normally, admittedly, but as I say, I thought, well, this morning, like once I got back here and finished off the housework, etc., I was sat there and I was like, man, I did some job applications, and I'm like, all right, well, I might as well. I was literally like about to log in as you messaged me, and I'm like, all right, excellent. This is perfect time.
I know.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I don't know the map. Sorry, I don't know the map brilliantly to know when they do this treasure hunt later on. But obviously, if we are on at the time,
I think I know
we do
one.
recognise. Do you? Okay.
Yeah. No. I looked at the spots and I just did not know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's certain like POIs like lighthouses where instantly you can just tell, you know, iSurvive to show you lighthouses, and then as long as it's a vanilla lighthouse, i.e. one that is on the normal DVR map, etc.
Oh, you try to check it.
Then you can literally narrow it down to a few locations, can't you? And then you can look at the shape of like the beaches or the things around it to figure out which one it is, or the roads or the houses, etc. nice and quickly. But obviously, if they've added in some modded lighthouses, for instance, like maybe that one on the island which is actually rotating, you know, maybe I'm not sure if that is a vanilla one or not. That's when it can get a bit confusing then, because obviously, oh sorry, not confusing. That's when it can get harder because you can't rely on I survive. But yeah, I survive. You know, like if you've got if there's like a blue circle on a house, you know, like that. If you actually hold press on that blue circle, it will it will show you what type of house it is. So it will show you if it's like a green and yellow and red Jamaica house
Yeah.
or a blue stilted or whatnot, and that
Yeah, I
can
be
be
checking that shit. Remember
yeah
I did when was it? Bitterroot?
yeah.
No, maybe. I don't know.
There's quite a few things like that that can be quite overpowered. And again, don't get me wrong, I know it can
Oh, no
spoil
malls.
the fun, you know.
The immersion.
Well, the thing is realistically, for everybody who goes, oh, I want to find it naturally, realistically here, right, they would rather
You
use
know,
that and
if you're running
find
to
it
a
than
house,
not.
you know what color or what spawns and what you,
Yeah,
unless it's a heavily modded server.
absolutely. Oh, some more to mix.
I don't know. I do be looking at that shit sometimes when I'm like trying to find.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously some servers won't allow you to have an in-game map because they want it to be a harder experience, or they want, or it'll be so heavily modded in terms of POIs that the like the in-game map isn't actually very accurate. Like these guys on here have done a pretty decent job of modifying the sat map for Deer Isle to show where parts are like become swamps or parts have done this, parts have done that. But obviously they can't make all the changes to it that they would like to, but they've done what they can, you know, in the limits of the systems they have. I just need to talk. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Gotta be careful. Mystic Rain gonna get you wet. God, gosh. We want some good. Oh, One right here.
No, fortunately, no. Not yet. I think I'm pretty sure when they normally book you in, not like next day, like emergency, it's usually towards like the end of the day that they'll turn up because like they've already booked the jobs for like earlier on in the day. So yeah, I'm expecting. I mean, I've got no doubt they'll turn up because they're a good plumber company. Touch wood, of course, but
Not showing up early like we thought.
yeah, like well, the original plumber company man were so bad at ghosting you. It wasn't even
You're
funny.
gonna be
It was.
like, you're gonna get there and be like, yo, you have to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's like, you know, like when they say, "Oh yeah, we'll be there tomorrow," and I'm like, "Okay, well I'm working, so please, I've already lost like, you know, at this point 2 weeks worth of pay because I've had to have days off." It says, "Like, can you please tell me a rough time when you're gonna be here, just so I can make sure I'm home for it, and I will be home for it, but also I can earn money at the same time." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll be here between 3 and 4," and I'll get home and I'll be waiting, and I'll be waiting. They don't turn up, so I'm ringing, you know, messaging, ghost me, and then like a week later they'll message back and going, are you in at the moment? And I'm like, no, I'm in work because as I've previously told you, I've already took
I
off
work for.
now. Like 15 days worth of pay. I lost, you know, I've only got like 15 part days or whatnot.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then they ghosted me for 2 weeks over the festive period after they told me they
This
apologised
is
for
the
putting me.
last plumbing
So this was the
company.
bad plumber company, yeah. So it was like
Mhm.
it was. I had probably a dozen visits from. No, it's probably more than that. It's probably about 15 visits from them over the course of I would say 6 weeks, and every single visit they cause an additional issue on top of the ones that they already had, and more than half the time they didn't fix the original issue they were there to fix. So like I had the
A
Sparky turn up
salesman.
to sort the wiring out, who didn't wire it up correctly, which caused literally the panel on the wall to literally start smoking and melting. You know, I'm not even, you know, at the back of it had melted, and when the plumber then turned up after that to figure out what had got, when the Sparky turned up to figure out what had gone wrong, he thought that the smoke was coming from the one of the elements in the boiler, and didn't even check the actual panel on the wall that had already started to melt. So then when the plumber then came back out from the same company, and he's like, did he not check the panel? I said, no, I didn't check the panel because it's the panel that's melting. And I said to him, it's like, that's your fucking electrician. And then
Yeah.
that plumber, when he wired stuff back up to fix that issue, he then wired up some of the stuff wrong. So as soon as I turned my boiler on, like, you know, turn my boost button on, it cut out. There was, you know, it cut the power. And I was saying to like the landlord company, I'm like, literally here, I don't want to let them in my property because all they're doing is costing the landlord more and more and more money because for every item they replace, they're not fixing the issue that caused the first one to go faulty. So it's like, you know, they've replaced elements well, they've replaced one of the elements 3 times and the other one twice. They replaced the thermostats 3 separate times each, and they would have only needed to replace those once each if they actually fixed a leak that was causing the thermostats to, you know, to become faulty, etc. Before actually replacing the thermostats. It was like it was one of them situations where it sounds like, you know, like some plumbers have really bad reps, right? And this is one of them situations where you just can't genuinely believe they can fuck things up that much so consistently and be so bad at communication. And I wasn't surprised when, as I say, the landlord management company said to me, she went, look, you'll no longer be getting that plumber, we'll be getting a different plumber in, and they'll be losing the contract for the entire block of 72 flats due to this. And I said to her, it's like, that's right, that's absolutely what should happen because, I mean, I've literally I think I ended up losing about 3 weeks worth of pay, you know, because they had to have days off for plumber visits that didn't turn up or you know, and obviously, you know, the inconvenience of not having hot water for more than 2 weeks in a row for the 4 months is not a nice thing. You feel like you're living in, you know, not to exaggerate, but you feel like you're in poverty. Do you know what I mean? You feel like you're in a fucking third world country without the ability to have, like, I mean, literally, I had to have baths using kettles, you know, boiling water in kettles, you know, literally for the great majority, probably two-thirds of that 4 month period. It's not very nice. But yeah, as I say now, obviously now it's
If
obviously
it
good because I said to him when he had issues with it
built up
again
on
last year, like I'm not
me.
allowing that other one back into the property, the good ones or none. And they were like, yeah, don't worry,
You
we'll
should
do the good one.
keep your door locked. Yeah,
Well, you know,
yeah.
what, I said this. I said to him, I said that I am not letting any of the staff from that into my property. I will take a fine before I let any of those staff from that other company into the property. And as I said to the
God
landlord, like, I said,
damn.
you'll know better based on them having like 15, 16 visits over a 2 month period, and them only fixing the issues to a sufficient level that allow me to have hot water consistently, you know, at the end of that. Um, but it's the thing, isn't it? Some landlords, they want the cheap option. They don't want the good option. They want the cheap option, and that's fine if the cheap option is actually a decent, trustworthy, hard-working person who does the jobs right, maybe someone who's just trying to establish their business and wanting to get new clients and all that, but sometimes they pay cowboys. And as it just so happened that bad plumber company, the second guy who came out to replace the element for one of the elements for the first time, he put the washer on the wrong way around, so the replacement element in after it, which meant that the leak that was coming from that spot.
All you need is one good dude.
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it was, I mean, it sounds so ridiculous and like over the top, but it was generally one of the most bizarre periods of my life because you just sat there like. The landlord must be literally screaming and shouting from the rooftops here about how much money they're having to pay out on a consistent basis. I'm obviously being impacted massively by obviously not having, hot water, and obviously having to, kind of like live in a different way, shall we say, because of the lack of not being able to shower and having to have baths, etc. And you can't go, you can go around to your family odd time here and there, can't you, for like a shower or something like that, but you can't do it every single day, especially when you've got jobs to go to, and obviously when you work in an office and you're working in a group of women, and obviously, you want to make sure, obviously, that your hygiene is okay, despite the fact you're not having, like 2 showers a day or whatnot, but yeah, I won't wish it on anybody, shit like that, man. It's such a silly thing, but one good plumber can fix it in one visit. Others. Oh, interesting. I just went into what do you call it? One of those little industrial houses things on the beach, and I found one of those Cuban bracelets that you sell at the black market, just on the shelf there, and not hacksaw, a handsaw as well. So good time.
Nice.
Silly question, right? But I honestly don't think that hack saws, the smaller ones, actually spawn on the server. I think it's only hand saws. Have you ever seen a hacksaw on the server?
Oh. I have no clue.
Yeah, because I mean, I found dozens of saws, but I've never found the the hacksaw. It's always been the hand one. You know, after another spare 5.56 carbine, now you have just found one.
Sure.
Yeah, might as well do it. Might as well have some spare, especially if we're going to get into PvP. The more spare loadouts we have, the easier it'll be, won't it? There's a 30 round PMAG in it as well. I'm going to take the ammo out of it at the time being, but I'll keep the mag for you as well.
Thank you.
No.
Oh,
What's that?
fucking bag I threw out went full.
Huh.
meters. 200 maybe.
Should be in the Olympics.
For real. Thought about it before. $15 minutes. You get the island finished in that time? Where are you?
With a jet ski, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Oh. Whereabouts are you at for looting?
I'm still on the beach at the moment. Yeah, just got probably about 1 more minute's worth of looting on here, and then I'll start going to the fishing village again. 2 guns so far. A St. Victor 308 on that carbine I mentioned before, and then a bit of ammo. Nothing exciting so far.
Yeah.
I suppose actually that bracelet, that gold bracelet's exciting because that's another thing to sell at the. I'm always happy to get black market sellables. Do you remember that when I was like, "Above your name's Terry"? It's like, what a coincidence that is, and it's like, no, that's not what we mean at all. Oh, fair enough. Not the world's most gullible man.
Not that.
Oh, fucking funny times that one.
There is a Terry that joined like after that joke was already done and made.
Oh, right.
Like Wishes friend.
Oh, right. Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay.
We did not find woolly mammoths the other night, huh?
We did not, yes, which has surprised me no end. I did see a person talk about there was still like winter animals spawning in like raptor locations and all that sort of stuff. I know I've seen a lot of mammoths around our island before winter came off, but I've not seen any since. But I don't know, maybe we didn't want the spawns on the far side of the island, or maybe we just didn't see any, or maybe they're spawning elsewhere on the map still and that hasn't been changed over. But yeah, those saber-toothed tigers are basically just wolves, aren't they? Just wolves with a different skin, so they're not too hard to deal with. It's just they do get the jump on you, just like the wolves do now when they don't fucking howl or make noise before they're like right on top of you. To search for those lovely dig piles.
What if they take the island away next what?
Yeah, it would be.
They're here for the
Yeah.
permanent. I think that's a John thing.
Oh yeah, the islands do have military spawns on them. Whatnot.
But if we
Yeah.
would it be like high tier if we came here on another
Now,
map too, you think?
that's the question, actually. That is the question, because we don't
Or
get to see the actual, like, I suppose from the tier maps, the old tier maps. It's got, I mean, I think for me, because the
it's when they
snafu,
added the skeleton.
yeah,
Because before when we were checking here, there wasn't anything.
yeah. Well, it's the question, isn't it? Because like the snafu gun mod, which is a lot of the tap, well, it's all the tappers literally. Obviously, that wouldn't be on a
Skeleton.
normal Deer Isle one. But I'm going to assume there'll be a high tier military on the islands, but at the same time,
I
it'll
think it
probably
would just be shit from Alcatraz, what do you think?
yeah, I'd say so. It's just confusing now, isn't it? Because like obviously there's a new tier map for Deer Isle with 9 tiers, but this server doesn't use it. This server uses like the original 17 tier one, but it's very heavily modded to fit the way they want the server to work, which is cool. You know, because I say it is a unique experience.
I
But yeah,
still can't believe I almost died in the last episode.
yeah. It's just a thing. I mean, did you see how much I literally nearly lost half my health before I even left base, just in literally the 2 minutes of having the fucking.
I don't know why, but that shit's not up for me. Where the fuck is that team shit?
Oh, the is it you? Oh yeah, you press U on your keyboard. And sorry, this is the thing, because U is used to
Oh,
show
you?
the names of the pack, and also show the and also lock a car when you're inside it. It's toggled off and on at the same when you're doing that with the car. So yeah,
Right. Thanks.
no worries.
It's been off for a few days.
Yeah, it's all these different modded settings, isn't it? Like, yeah, I suppose it eventually does run out of keyboard bindings, and it has to start using the same thing, doesn't it, I suppose. So,
So, do you have the handguard for the SR3?
for the SR3, you say?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a full all the attachments for one of them, just so I've got one at base. Thank you. So yeah, I don't need any. I mean, I think I've got a spare SR3 suppressor, but I don't need any of the other attachments for spares, unless you want one yourself, of course. Thank you.
I was gonna give it to you. A gift from my ancestors.
Haha. Fair enough. There you go. Any come and give us something good? What is that? Is that a torch?
It always.
It's
You think it's always raining like that up there?
well,
Or
that
did we
is
just
the
go at like
problem,
a
isn't
fucking
it?
terrible time?
I am a bit confused by this, right? Because obviously, I'm pretty sure the limitations of the weather files that are possible in Dayz, even modded Dayz, means you can't have, when it rains over the entirety of the map, and when it snows, it snows over the entirety of the map, etc. Which obviously doesn't work very well on a map like Deer Isle. So when I got rain up there, I was like, this is a problem. This is obviously not something that they could do anything about, but like the limitations of the file itself, you can't set certain areas to be snowing and the rest of the map not be doing that for whatever reason. So I think you get wetter faster though from rain than you do snow, which is what my concern was when it happened. I was like, fuck's sake, man, is there anything else that could go wrong?
It was so cool.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a very, very impressive area, as I say. I think there's countless places on this map which you could say John McClane's put more effort into than any respective area on the official maps. You know, in comparison, like I mean, KMUC. You know what I mean? There's not a single thing on the. You know, if you think about the closest thing to KMUC in terms of effort, unofficial is the Livonia bunker, and the Livonia bunker is very cool. But KMUC is literally 20 times the size. Isn't it? It's a city underground. It's a bigger city than any of the other cities on the official.
caves.
Yeah.
We could base there if you got.
Well, yeah, I do mean to switch it over to do that, because I generally do want to just set a spawn to be outside KMUC and then run in and just start learning, you know, just start learning routes and whatnot.
Shit.
Because I think, whilst I believe he was intending to change one of the quick escapes out of them, so apparently there are two, the one we've used before, you know, we got most of the way through, you know, like that little, what do you want to call it, that big hole in the ground which leads all the way up. I think it would be cool to, you know, just be able to drive over and know the layouts of certain places that we haven't been to yet on this server, because obviously we're prioritising going to the places which get us the good loot. But again, it's the time, isn't it? As I say, like, you know, setting up the island on a server, you know, probably won't take as long as like heavily modifying it with all the other mods you've bought on it. But when you've got so used to some of the mods on this server, you want the same stuff, don't you? You know what I mean? You want like the all the navigation stuff from the expansion mod that does that. You want the core expansion mod, so you can do like auto run and things like that. And then it just becomes like, oh, we want to use my server. Oh, we can't. We need to update several mods. Right? Okay, let me update them, etc. Any good loot so far? I am not doing well over here on these. There's literally no loot at all. I mean, there's like some cans of Coke and a flashlight. So
79 snow owl optic.
Nice.
We get the snow owl, please.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be able to put that optic. That optic's pretty fucking far.
The JMC. Oh, sorry, JMC. The snow owl one. Sorry.
Put a different tab.
You can only try. Yeah. I'm now running towards the ruins. Time to log out, isn't it? 2 minutes.
Before I do.
Yeah.
Hopefully the rain is gone. We get back.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Status corruption.
Oh man, yeah, it's that old chestnut. Yeah, well, as I say, I mean, like a higher spec server will in no way affect that issue, positively or negatively. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, a higher slot server would exacerbate the issues. Even more people would be having the problems. But a higher spec server isn't going to help with that. It should hopefully mean, well, maybe. I mean, I think if you've seen the last couple of times people have raised about crashing at the vendors at VC, it's not even offering help with it now. It's just saying, here's a link to the expansion Discord. Complain to them because it's an issue with their mod, etc. And like, yeah, okay, I'm sure it is an issue with their mod, etc. But if it's occurring as much as it's occurring on this server, they wouldn't actually publish the mod. They'd pull it because of how bad it was, etc. So it's clearly worse on this server than it is on other servers, because you can go in the expansion and look, and there's people talking about it, but there's not people talking about it as frequently as there are people talking in our Discord. And maybe people are just complaining in the Discord of the servers they're playing and not others. But do you know what I mean? I think, as I say, that issue on this server is very, very, very bad. Oh, I'm just gonna mute myself so I watch that video.
It's long. 20 minutes.
No, it's,
He was doing the
what was the guy called I was watching? There was in can't remember. I think it was on Reddit. Someone was talking about Tarkov and like funny streams to watch, ones that make you laugh while they're playing a game. And someone talked about, I think it was called, was it the burnt potato or something like that? And I put it on, and basically he's got one of them overlays, like when you're on TikTok and you can put like a cat's face over your own or whatnot. So he's basically, sorry, no, it's the burnt peanut. Sorry, the burnt peanut. And he basically had the peanut overlay over his face, and he was fucking funny to watch. It was a bit weird in places. It was definitely kind of like, kind of
Oh,
like
the
one of
weird
those.
ones are so.
Yeah,
That's how I was gonna.
yeah, but sometimes it's that's the funniest stuff, isn't it? Because he was like playing along with his mate, joking, and his mate was joining in with it, and it was like kind of like, this is fucking funny. Like he seemed like one of the really excitable people. But that's the thing, isn't it? Like, and I think this is probably why I've been watching the Money Man's lesson probably the last 6 months. Not just like because of him mainly playing Saka or anything like that, but just literally because at the moment he's getting so much shit from people in his chats, basically talking about stuff he doesn't want to talk about, that he's just getting frustrated, asking him not
Just
to,
pissed off.
and then he's having to basically
Players.
justify then why he doesn't want to talk about it, and giving good analogies to explain why it's not productive and all that stuff, or trying to talk people who are obviously clearly trying to get banned and being out of order, from ending up getting banned, because if you don't stop, you'll get banned. So just stop and you can carry on watching the streams, etc. And it's just like Tyson. Like, I can't remember the last time I've loaded up a stream of his, and he's not having to argue with someone or call out someone on like misinformation or bullshit or nonsense, or be saying to people, look, please don't do this because you'll end up getting banned, or giving them an analogy to explain why it's not acceptable to talk to things like that. I can't remember the last time it's happened, and it's really frustrating because I really want to watch his live streams, but it's an absolute cesspit of idiots at the moment, and has been for a while. So all I can have to do really is watch his YouTube videos. But if I watch his YouTube videos, then I'm going to sit there watching 4 minutes of adverts every 10 minutes while
Would
I
you
watch.
tell him if you heard this?
Also, if he heard it, I'd honestly tell him sometimes. What would I do? I would just have a firm ban hammer. End of the day,
Get him.
you know, he's not going to lose viewers because end of the day, if someone bans you on Twitch, you can be back watching them within 10 seconds without being logged in. You can just go onto the stream and watch it again, no issues whatsoever. Obviously, yeah, you need to be signed in to be able to send messages and all that, etc. But yeah, as I say, end of the day, when people are deliberately trying to be like, there's one guy who's like really chill and supportive of Running Man's in the Running Man's Discord, not Discord, in his streams, but on some of the other streamers, he's an absolute dickhead in, to the other streamers, and he's been banned like out of Adam Crooks, and I think. Because he was literally being absolutely out, really, bad stuff in them. And you sat there thinking, like, how is he so chilling, all right, in one of them, but not in all the others that I've seen him in? Because obviously, there's a lot of people who watch Running Man's. He'll also watch Muller and Sour Sweet. Maybe we'll watch Joito and Holyrex and Senny and what's the other one called? Slexify and that sort of stuff. You'll watch the similar groups of streamers, the ones that play with each other. Like when I watched Adam Cook and he was playing with Dystopian, and I got an hour time out because I asked what the name of his teammate was because I really wanted to know so I could sub to him and watch him. And I don't know, man. I think people just think nowadays on the internet that because you're not saying it to the face and because they can only react with words, that you can just drop something in there, out of order, and you don't. There's no comeback for it. And that's the thing in the UK. I know there's lots of misinformation being sent in other countries about obviously the UK arresting people for social media posts, but people who put social media posts on claiming that's the person who murdered some kids at a dance class in Blackpool or wherever it was a illegal immigrant who had a really Islamic sounding name and had previous convictions and all this, that basically gets all the knuckle draggers to go out and cause carnage in towns and attack, trying to burn down hotels that have asylum seekers in, etc. That deserves a prison sentence. Do you know what I mean? You're inciting people to literally riot and try to kill other people, just because they're not the same color as they are, or the same nationality as they are, in their opinion, because they have a different skin color. It's that sort of, absolute depravity that is correct. They should be, if you do something like that, you're inciting people to try and kill other people. So when that shit actually happens, you get took to task for it. My opinion, anyway. But yeah, as I say, it's too easy now for misinformation to be on the internet, whether it be on X, obviously that Elon Musk now owns it and spouts all his right wing nonsense, or on pretty much every social media, isn't it? Whether it be Facebook or whatever. Too easy, man. Just about back in.
Oh.
Oh, fuck's sake. Right, so good news. It has stopped raining. It's very, very overcast, but it has stopped raining. Yeah. Like, the carbines, they have, if you don't have any attachments on, they have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 different attachment slots on them for different things. How cool is that? I don't know, like 3 of them are different types of grips, admittedly, but it's just so cool to have all those options because you know what types of attachments can go on it, what types of grips can go on based on the shape of the attachment slots. You know what I mean? It's so much easier to know what is compatible, what isn't compatible. Did you ever see that video of one of those rioters who got hit in the brick in the back of the head and then got hit in the balls by another brick? Did you ever see that video? Yeah, he got sentenced. What not?
The dude through the brick?
Yeah. No. Sorry. I'm not sure if the guy who threw the bricks at the police, obviously hit that guy instead, got sentenced or what. I'm sure they did, but yeah, the guy who got hit by him because he was obviously trying to attack police officers. It's always funny, isn't it? That video you see of it shows him walking up to the police officers in the faces, but not doing anything necessarily, shall we say, illegal. But obviously, the other parts of that video, which were conveniently cut out by the people who upload them, is where he's actually attacking the police officers. Do you know what I mean? That sort of. It's about how he was standing up for these kids and all this so-called peaceful protest. He's the one riling everybody up, telling them, "Let's go and get the police. Let's go and get the police. They're over there. Let's go and burn down this, burn down that." And it's like, for fuck's sake, man. It's like, how do you think people are going to fall for that absolute nonsense about you saying you're a peaceful protester when you're on video inciting people to try and burn down a hotel with people in it? You know what I mean? It's just like that kind of oh, everyone else lies, I can lie, and because I'm lying and I'm saying it's not true, it's not true. It's like, fucking hell. Yeah, he's got put down for a long time. And one of the guys who actually threw the petrol bombs at the hotel got put down for, I think, 14 years, I think it was. Because he actually did try to set fire to that same place where the others were rioting. You know what I mean? He actually did. Luckily didn't succeed.
Just dumbass.
Well, yeah, as I say, don't get me wrong, I'll be the first person to say, of any country in the world, the UK has the largest percentage of idiots who will believe anything they are told. I know other countries will probably say they're the worst for it as well, but it is frightening how many idiots are in this country. It is really, really it's frightening. As I say, it wasn't just suspects talking about it, or oh, this new fog's making us all ill. It's a fucking new COVID. Now it's like there's idiots everywhere, but in the UK they're probably half the fucking population.
Come here and check it out. They believe everything they see.
It's only media. Every country has idiots, don't they? And every country has extremist idiots. Every country has people who believe any conspiracy theories with the sun, because they want to like be I get that. There's people like that everywhere. It's literally, if I've always used the analogy of like religion, of like, if I was tomorrow to get a piece of shit stick and make a religion called the shit stick religion, right now no one would follow it because everyone knows bollocks. In 100 years it would probably have, a few hundred followers. In 1,000 years it would have thousands of followers. In a couple of thousand years it would probably have, a third of the world all worshipping it, just because people follow other people, don't they? And regardless of how ridiculous or silly it is, people will follow it because they want to be different, or they want to piss other people off by. And it's the most bizarre thing. Like I've never felt that any sort of religion as a. I'm completely non-religious. I mean, you probably could meet a more unreligious person than me, but I don't know I just don't understand some people, how they can believe someone.
Not me, man. I go to church every Sunday.
Is it the Dayz church by chance? Yeah, Church of Dreams. Oh man. But yeah, it's as I say, it's just, each to their own. But there's some very, very demented individuals over in the UK, and I know, as you said there, there's a lot more people in America, so there'll probably be, in terms of numbers, there'll probably be more in America than the UK. But I think in terms of like as a percentage of the population in the UK, I would go as high as 50% of it is frightening. you want it, you can have. Yeah. It's full black, you know, in terms of the name of it, but it does kind of look. It's got like grey bits on it as well. It's not black. It's got this kind of. It does. It doesn't. It's not just completely painted black anymore. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong here, right? But frag grenades. The only place we found frag grenades has been at Kmart. If am I right in that, or am I wrong? I seem to remember.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because we found one last wipe, didn't we?
I don't know.
Definitely found one, but oh, so I think the plumber's here. Back in a second. Sorry, man.
That was good. Jeez, bro. Trying to suppress the other day. Yeah. Damn. Bam, right in it. Jesus. Over here. What's on here? Put him on the mic, Arch. I want to talk to him. I'm sure you're right.
I'll be back shortly, man. All right. I'll just mute myself in the meantime. All right. Yes.
All right. Sounds Damn it. Filling up, chat. Jet ski's gonna be. Whoa. Not hungry, I mean. God damn it. Oh. keep forgetting to shut it off. MVGs are kind of fucking me up. Can't see the skeletons on. There's over. Dude. Like some heavy duty armor. Can't tell though. Maybe a backpack. The fuck? Oh. Oh, the save. My god. Yeah, I don't know how fucking. Oh my god. I can't tell. Like a ghillie. Take it. Should more shit spawn back here? Did I drop that ghillie? I did it by accident. I don't think. We're not even gonna look at that. Probably gonna flip rounds. I'm not gonna pay any attention to it. Oh wow. Look at this, another ghillie club. Big vest? Oh no. That no. That's exactly what we need. pretty full, so I think we're gonna have to go back here. Maybe log out for a little bit, grab a bite to eat, and maybe hop back on for another episode. I suppose I should duck it. And then I said, please no. Okay, no. I don't want anyone. If anyone does come looting here, I don't want them to be getting in my leftovers. Hmm. Got all these up. Hello. Oh yeah. I don't want to break down any of the green ones just in case. Worm. Now we can stay on loot a little bit longer. What? I thought I was somewhere. Maybe we'll do another run. Art said he'd be on it. 15 minutes. I don't really want him to suck. Plus, not even full. Dog. Thing. I'll get a bite to eat and get back in a bit. Y'all hit that subscribe button, notifications, that like button. Appreciate it. Great day. But